we are back with our Halloween build. Every year I do something for Halloween on my channel, and this year we are going to build, well, not really build, I guess, more or less paint. You already know who it is. It's Lilly Munster. This is a stylized version of her. Thought she was cute, and I thought it'd make a great Halloween project for our channel. She's about 1/8 in scale. I thought she was 1/6, but after looking up the height of Yvonne DiCarlo and the height of this is about 1/8. So she's 1/8 in scale, perfect size for a shelf. Not too little, not too big. And yeah, she's pretty cool. We printed her with Elegoo water washable resin in ceramic gray. In fact, I'll get the bottle here real quick. This is really good stuff. I really love this stuff. It's so much easier to work with, and there's hardly an odor to it. It's very low odor. I wouldn't say it's odor free, but it's very low odor, and the odor that it does have is not a harsh odor. Not only will regular resin get me to cough just by breathing the fumes in, but it stinks up the whole house. And this I can print all day, and you don't smell nothing in my house. It's just really good stuff. It's so much easier to work with. So this is what we printed her up with. This is all I use now. And comes in different colors too. Comes in more than just gray. Comes in all kinds of colors. And if you go to Elegoo's website, they have a chart, which is another reason why I like using their resin. They have an online chart for all the resins, and it will tell you the basic settings for your slicer program. And even has it right here on the label. It has a bottom exposure time of 60 seconds and a normal exposure time of 8 seconds. Even says it right on the bottle. So they did a really, really good job with this water washable resin, and I love it. I think it's good stuff. But anyway, that's what she was printed up with. We have her in 3 parts. I did glue her arms together, but we have her in 3 like sub-assemblies because I thought it'd just be easier to paint her each sub-assembly than trying to paint her all together and handle her and all that other crap. So making it into 3 sections, it'll be much easier for us to paint. So there's Lily. And then I was going to just put her on. I have a base that I was going to just plop her on. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's right here. It's like an octagon kind of base, plastic base. I have no idea where I got it from. And I was just going to put her on there and say, okay, you know, there she is. But, you know, I thought that was kind of boring. Just to take a figure, put it on a base, and that's it. I mean, it's a nice base and all, and she looked great on it, but just wasn't happy with just plopping her down there and going about onto something else. So I bought a nice 7-inch wooden plaque off Amazon. I tried to get it locally here from Michael's, but they didn't have any, at least 7-inch. And that's what I need. So I bought this wooden plaque. We'll either stain it or paint it. I haven't decided. I haven't gotten that far yet. So we're going to put it on this 7-inch round plaque. And then I thought, okay, what can I put with Lily that makes sense? And most of us are familiar with the Munsters, right? And so I thought, well, why not make Spot? That was their family pet. He was always underneath the steps. So I made Spot. We'll say this is when they first got him and he was a pup. Because to make a much larger dragon, it would have really taken up a lot of footprint. And I don't have that much space anymore in this room. So I was trying to keep it contained within, you know, no bigger than 7 inches anyway. So we made a little baby Spot. And this is a baby dragon. We're just calling him Spot. But I printed him with the same resin And he's pretty cool. And I think he matches the stylized version of Lilly. So we'll get him painted up. We're going to be calling him Spot. There's underneath, there's all my drain holes. I put a ton of drain holes on stuff. Especially using this water washable resin, because as it cures, the resin will expand or contract or both. So you have to make sure that you get all the resin out from inside your piece, or you'll end up, and I think that's what happened with the first print of Lilly I did. You know, if you leave uncured resin inside your print, it eats away at the cured resin, and it'll crack, expand, you know, it'll do all kinds of stuff you don't want. It'll start leaking out, getting all over the place. So you really have to make sure that you use a lot of drain holes, that you make sure that the inside is thoroughly washed out of any raw resin, and then go ahead and cure it. But yeah, so we're going to put a Spot on here, and they just barely fit together on this 7-inch platform, but it'll work close enough. I can move her around somewhat, move Spot around when we'll get it all. We'll get it all worked out. If they overhang just a tad, that's okay. So that's kind of going to be how the display is going to look with Lilly and Spot. I made this nameplate, and we might use it, we might not. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It'll be pretty fun. Okay, so that's what we're doing. That's what we're building / painting for Halloween. Colors. Now, Lily's dress, wasn't too sure of its color, because in the publicity photos, the shade seemed to kind of differ. So I was looking on the internet, and I found an auction house that had her dress up for auction. And according to them, they have all the paperwork and certificates and all that other stuff to say it was officially a screen-used dress she wore during filming. And they listed the fabric as lilac. So I didn't have lilac, but I did have this purple. So I took a bunch of this purple, took a bunch of white, and then mixed it together to get my dress color, which I need to shake up my bottle here, and got kind of sort of like a washed out lilac, which I think would be pretty cool. And then I painted it on a piece of scrap plastic. This is the straight out of the bottle, and this is mixed, and I think it looks, I think it'll look pretty good on her. I think it's just about the right shade of the dress that was on the auction house site, pretty close to it. So yeah, so we got that. So that'll be her dress color. Her flesh tone, that kind of varied too, depending on the makeup, I guess. Sometimes she looked really, really white. Sometimes it was, you know, kind of sort of white. Sometimes she looked a little bit on the green side. Kind of varied. So again, I took a scrap piece of plastic. This is Vallejo Pale Flesh. This is Army Painter Corpse Pale. Took them straight out of the bottle, painted this piece of scrap plastic. And I think we're going to go with the Vallejo, which is over here, and this is the Army Painter. I think this is too brown, has too much brown in it. This has a lot more pink in it, and I think we're going to go with that. So we're going to go with the Game Air Pale Flesh. And then we might add just a touch of this gray green from Tamiya. It's XF76, and it's called Gray Green, Japanese Navy. So we might add a little spritz of this on her, just to give her a little bit of green. And then this is going to be Spot's main color, this gray green. I got online and looked at the color wheel to see what goes well with the color lilac, and it looked like it was like an olive green, white, one other color, I can't remember, but we might go with this gray green on Spot's body as his main color, or we might pick. I have some different greens in Tamiya. Yeah, I have about 3 or 4 different shades of green that we can also change. We can make them a little darker. We can make them a little lighter. I know olive green was a color they say it goes well with lilac, so maybe we'll do olive green instead of this and use this as like an accent color on Spot. But yeah, that's pretty much our colors. They might change up a bit as we're progressing through the build. But it'll be basically these colors here. Lilac, green, and of course our flesh tones. So I think it'll be pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to working with Lilly and working with Spot. I think it'll be fun. And I guess that's it for now until we start doing some painting on, we'll probably start with the dragon first. He's all one piece and he shouldn't be too hard to paint. So maybe we'll do Spot first and then move on to Lilly. It'll give me time to think of what I'm going to do with the base, how I'm going to paint it, whether I just stain it or paint it or, do whatever. But yeah, it'll give me time to think about the base. Alright guys, that's it for our Halloween build, and we'll see you when we start painting on Spot. Till then, take care.